first ever episode of Julie's Kitchen Diaries. A project in works for months, in talks for years. Chef Zona.
Hi.
This is my friend Chef Zona. How long have we been talking about this project?
How long have you been talking about this project?
But today, finally, we're doing it.
I mean, it's a given. It was in the process for what, 2 years now?
A year.
You remember when we started talking about this? Whose birthday was it? It was someone's birthday.
It was a wedding.
It was a wedding, and she didn't know that I was a chef, and at that time just a cook. And
I challenged you.
She was intrigued by my talent. Maybe I could say that. But she challenged me. She had the audacity to challenge me to a cook-off, which she never actually did because
I will.
She was too scared.
I am? No, I'm not scared.
And now that you have 3 kids and you've been cooking every day, maybe, well, I don't think you're still up for the challenge, but we'll see.
Hopefully, maybe by next year.
Maybe by next year.
I'll be good enough to challenge you. We'll host an event.
Yeah.
We'll hold a challenge.
Yeah.
We'll make it a fundraiser.
Fundraiser, that's a good idea.
But how embarrassing would it be for you if I actually beat you?
Well,
I won't let you.
Well,
I won't let you lose.
We'll find out.
I won't let you lose. So I'm saying it today, a year before, I won't let him lose. So in case I lose.
Well, my mom always taught me to let girls win, so.
Oh, so we're both trying to lose.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of
challenge.
challenge.
It's a lose-lose situation.
Oh. So what are we making today?
Well, she decided she wants to know how to make tartare.
I want to know how to make tartare.
Which in the kitchen industry is one of the most easiest and I would say tackiest plates.
But that's exactly why.
But you know what? People love it. There's a very high demand for it, especially from girls, as you can see. And you know, people like eating tartares.
So we're calling it, we're making tacky tartare.
Tacky tartare. Not the tacky.
And the reason why I wanted you to teach me is because I don't get to go out a lot. And if it's so simple to make, then maybe I could have date night at home sometimes.
Simplicity is key.
Definitely.
In cooking. I mean, you should know that.
Yeah, you'll see simplicity at its core in my cooking. I mean, I can't get past basic levels and I don't even know.
And she'll be showing me how to make a meal for 3 little girls because one's I'm married and I have 3 kids.
I'm preparing him.
I should be able to make a meal in, how long do you make it?
The meals that I make, they can't last more than 15 minutes.
So I'm going to show you my knives because you know we can't cook without knives.
I'm really dying to see those.
So since you have 3 kids, right? I have.
You have 8?
I have, yeah, 8 I would say.
Okay.
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So first I'm going to start off with, well, the main one, which is the most simple one, chef knife. Then we're going to go in the sashimi knife because obviously we're going to fillet fish, right? And then with the fillet knife, which is a flexible knife, as you see. And then I have my peeler and my whisk, which is very important for me in this recipe that I'm going to be making. And that's about it. The thing is with your knife, like as I see here, it's not very sharp, right?
No, it's really not sharp.
But why isn't it sharp?
Because really I'm very distracted. Usually when I'm cooking, I have kids literally hanging from my crotch area. They're hanging on my skirt. They're like, Mama. Okay. And so I'm like, stop it! And I cut my finger a lot, but I don't actually cut it because it doesn't.
Well, I'm gonna give you an example. The thing is, most people don't understand is when you have a knife that's not sharp, you could cut yourself more easily, not more easily because it's not as sharp, but the danger of the knife actually slipping from whatever you're cutting and cutting a finger are greater than an actual sharp knife because you're using too much force, and when I'm cutting it, I'm just letting the knife do all the work while I'm just, you know,
just the sound of that knife was scary.
Yeah. Always your thumb in the back of your fingers, so you don't, because what mostly people do is they start like this and their thumbs go in front and then they cut their thumb. So that's it. And you have to keep the knife on the edge of your hand. You see, like my fingers are here, my knife is there, and I'm just going. It's on. My knife is literally on my fingertips. You see? No. See, go more.
So the knife should land on my knuckles.
Yeah. Well, not your knuckles, because your knuckles are here.
Oh, not my knuckles, but my.
Yeah. But
whatever.
For now, do it the way you're comfortable.
Yeah.
But slowly, gradually.
Okay.
Go through the motion and figure out how you want to do it. I suggest you start just practicing like this, and then start with an actual vegetable.
So let's get cooking.
Let's go. What I have here is organic Atlantic salmon, and
so where do we buy that?
well, you can buy it at any fish market, or I would suggest like PA or Makshipea has.
What do I ask for?
You just ask for salmon, regular salmon, but always ask for center cut.
Center cut.
Center cuts, because obviously the more center cut you have, the less fat you have and the less fiber you have.
Can I smell it?
Sure. See, it doesn't smell fishy, it smells fresh.
That's how you know it's fresh, when it doesn't smell fishy.
Yeah, like salmon is the most simplest fish you can find on the market right now. It's one of the most popular ones.
Yeah, that's what I tell people who don't like fish and don't want to eat tartare. I tell them it has nothing to do with fishiness, because it's not supposed to.
But personally, I won't eat cooked salmon.
Me neither. I can't do
I
it.
eat most of the fish I eat it raw, because fish, any seafood you could eat raw, and it's healthier for you.
Oh, interesting.
It's healthier a word? Healthier.
Whatever. Everything's a word.
It is, right?
Everything's a word in this kitchen.
Anyway, so I'm gonna start with my salmon. So
okay.
I think you should start cooking.
I will.
I could be done in 15 minutes.
Oh my god.
But I'm gonna guide you through this. I'm gonna tell you your mistakes and everything.
Here, so what I'm making, I don't even know if I told you, I'm making a big vegetable Asian soup that I make really often. Every weekend we do this. The kids, they love it, and it's just a big soup filled with.
You do it every weekend? Every weekend.
Alright. It's like the weekend soup. And they eat it, they love it, and I just try to fill it with
as much love as possible.
As many veggies as possible, especially different colors, lots of greens, lots of mega vegetables like kale. So I'm just starting with an onion.
I'm gonna stop you right there 2 seconds. Because I'm afraid.
Why? Don't be afraid.
Because every time I cook with
no,
stop. Alright, so I'm gonna wash my hands because I touched fish.
Okay, and then you're gonna show me how to cut this onion.
And then I'm gonna show you how to cut the onion.
Okay, I have another onion. We can cut it at the same time.
Okay, we'll cut 2 onions at the same time.
But I usually cry a lot when a lot.
So
here.
I'm gonna don't put it cross-contamination.
No cross-contamination.
You don't do that.
Okay.
Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is the trick. I'm gonna give you a little trick. Today I'm gonna give you guidelines and tricks. So we just put fish, right?
Right.
But our cutting board has 2 sides, right?
Right.
So. And now you have a perfect clean cutting board. So see, you just forced.
Yeah, it's my knife.
But look at this.
Yeah.
So you cut both edges off. Okay, there you go. She's butchering the onion, and I'm cutting an onion.
Maybe if I peel it, it'll cut easier. I will need to go through the
No,
peeler.
not really.
That's why I cry a lot, because look how much I'm manipulating it a lot.
Yeah,
I'm touching it. So what did you do? You cut. There, you see there. Okay. And then halfway like.
No, wait. Put it flat. Always when it's flat, there's less chances of it slipping in your hand.
So flat surface always down?
Yes. And that's it. Now you peel it off.
Peel it?
Yeah. And I always take the heart of the onion out when I'm gonna dice it, because it doesn't give good, like, nice cuts. So now basically how to cut an onion. What I do is you cut strips like this, but you don't cut the whole onion. See what I did?
They're connected at the tip?
Yeah, they're all connected at the tip. So see, my onion's not falling apart, but they're all cut already.
And then other side?
And then no.
No?
Well,
Oh.
depends how you want to cut your onion. If
For me,
you-
it's a soup. So.
it's a soup, so if you want to just rough chop it,
Okay.
you can do it. You can go right ahead. But what I would do if I want to have a nice fine cut, which is called the brunoise in
Okay. In
cooking terms,
brunoise.
I would go like this. Then I would go like that again. And then you have a nice fine chop of onions.
So I'm gonna give it a rough chop because it's what my recipe requires. The truth is I can't do that.
So at least you learn how to cut an onion. But just, try to keep your fingers
My fingers
in
out of the way.
one piece, please. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip my cutting board over back where the fish was. And I'm going to start cutting my fish.
Okay, meanwhile I'm gonna turn on the stove top.
Perfect.
I just put it on medium high.
So I got fish with the skin on. So I'm going to have to take the skin off, right? So what you want to do really is you have to go under it. But you can when you buy fish, I suggest you buy it without the skin.
Okay, I have to
it's easier for you. So I'm just taking the skin off. Be very careful when you do it. There you go. Skin's off. Throw away the skin. It's no use. So after, what you want to do is you want to clean the fish. This what you call here is it's like a bloodline. Right? You don't want it in a tartare. When we actually cook salmon, we keep it intact. But when you're doing tartare, it doesn't look nice, right? It's edible, but it doesn't look nice. So what we want to do is slowly just take it off. Cut everything off. So all you have is going to be nice orange bright color.
So see, I'm keeping all my celery edges.
That's it. Always keep the edges. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut salmon in half so it's easier for me to slice it. And then I'm going to actually just slice it in half too. Because tartare, right, you're going to have to cube it, right? There's a lot of different ways to have salmon tartare. People just slice it. There's sashimi, which is nice thin slices like that, like this. They put it on tartare. On sushi, on the rice. It's called sashimi. But now for today, I'm just gonna slice it right in the middle.
Reduced sodium chicken stock. I just add it on there, and then I rub all the little pieces that are stuck to the pan out into the stock. Those are filled with flavor.
You know what those are? Sugar.
It's the sugar. So then that's all flavor. And then when I have liquid in, I don't need to use as much oil. Well, I don't use oil at all. I don't salt either, only to taste at the very end. So now I've got my rough vegetables in. I'm gonna wait this out while I prepare the rest of my veggies.
So while you're here,
yeah, I'm gonna grab my vegetables.
Okay, I'm gonna show you how to cut the actual salmon.
Okay.
So basically, you just cut it in strips. I don't know if you want to come here and look at it. You have a better view. So basically, I'm just gonna cut it in strips, as you see here. I'm gonna break down the fibers. Then I'm gonna turn it around, and then I'm gonna just slice it like that. And you see, cubes, right?
So you were telling me the other day that tartare is not actually raw.
Well, it's not that it's not raw. It's because any tartare you eat, there's always a kind of citrus they add, vinegars that actually, not cooks the meat, but
Kills the bacteria.
Kills the bacteria. Reacts in a kind of way that it's not, you're not eating raw.
Right.
Right? But you could eat it raw and it's very healthy for you. There's
Okay.
no, but tartare itself, like Armenians, there's a dish we call chikefte. That's basically we're eating raw meat because we add no lemon or lime or vinegars, nothing to it, right? But for salmon tartare or tuna tartare or beef tartare, there's always an ingredient they put in it: lemon juice, orange. Some people use orange, some people use lime, some people use vinegars.
So acids.
It's acids that actually react to the protein in a certain way.
So I'm using here, I have, I forgot what they're called.
Brussels sprouts. I'm surprised your kids eat Brussels sprouts.
They eat anything I put in this soup. It's crazy because in the broth, you know, every vegetable loses the main flavor, the bitterness, but all the vitamins are still inside the broth because I'm not steaming the vegetables in water or boiling them in a different pot. It's all in the same soup.
That's actually very interesting because when I was young, I ate so much vegetables and my mom was actually surprised, and until this day she always talks about it. She never used to force me to eat vegetables. I love eating vegetables, but my brother was the complete opposite.
Oh my God, your brother.
He's like a complete meat eater.
But now he's eating a lot of vegetables.
Now he's in his phase Insta fit and taking pictures of his food and posting it online. I'm actually happy for him because he's actually, you know, trying and he's cooking by himself, so which is good.
Good. Yeah.
So I'm gonna put my salmon in the fridge. Always keep it cold. And I'm gonna start cutting my ingredients for my vinaigrette for the salmon. So I put my board over now, perfectly clean. See, you're using bok choy. I like bok choy.
I love bok choy.
To finish off a plate, just let it, you know, put it in the stock at the end, let it melt in the stock.
Yeah.
But the thing is with mushrooms, I see you're gonna use mushrooms.
Yeah.
It's always better to saute your mushrooms with the onions because it gives out a lot of flavor.
Yeah, I forgot.
But the thing is, if you don't want to use oil, mushrooms need oil for the start.
So I should saute them for a bit.
Well, now it's too late.
Well, I can saute them in a
different
side pan.
You could do that. And
I'm almost done, by the way.
you're almost done?
Yeah, I keep like the leaves at the very end.
Okay, so how long would you need to finish off your soup, let's say?
I let it simmer. Now what I'm gonna add to it, once I'm done throwing in my vegetables, I take ginger and I grate a little bit. I have coriander that I toss in it. I put some coriander in it to flavor it. And a little bit of soy sauce and I'm done. So we'll be eating that soon.
I'm gonna give you a little, not trick, but advice. Whenever you're doing a soup, you guys should always let the soup simmer for at least half an hour, so it can intake all the flavors of the vegetables you guys put in it, and it always tastes better, right?
Okay, so what I'll do, I'll finish it up, and then I'll
you can look at me, and I'll give you some guidelines, and I'll give you some things to cut, you know, help me out at the same time.
So here's my pan, tossing in a little bit of butter. Now if I'm sauteing my mushrooms, I'll salt them a bit here. And the soup I'll salt separately according to taste. I really want to limit the salt in the food. So usually I like to grate some ginger in my soup.
Okay.
And I just take the ginger, I cut off a piece and I go straight on the grater.
Well, I'm gonna give you a little trick on how to peel an actual ginger.
Okay.
Which is very easy, very safe.
You're taking out a spoon?
Yes. So what you do is, you just take the spoon and you just go like that. And it just peels off automatically.
Oh, wow.
See? And there's no knife involved. It's very safe. When you have bits like this, you can just cut it. Just continue. Because it's a very sensitive ingredient, so you don't want to damage it too much. And there's a lot of fibers into it. So after you're done doing that.
And about the coriander that I'm going to put in my stock.
Yes.
Can I use
the stems? The stems of coriander have more flavor than the actual leaf.
Okay.
but sometimes in a soup it's good to eat it like that. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But in an actual, let's say in my tartare that I'm gonna be putting, I don't put the stems in it because it's raw. Texture-wise, it's raw, right? So you have to make sure not to put stems in it. But the stems of a coriander have a lot of flavor. So how do you want this cut? I'm gonna help you cut.
I don't cut it. I just grate it in.
You just grate it in. So here, I'm gonna give you a nice slice.
This smells so good. The ginger and the coriander. Oh yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you that.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go and finish it off.
Okay.
Then we're gonna let it simmer. So now I have the grater. I'm gonna grab the ginger that Chef Zona peeled and cut for me. I'm just gonna peel in this ginger. And just by adding ginger, you give a whole Asian flair to your dish. Sometimes I dip my grater into the soup to get all the bits.
As long as it's sanitary.
It's sanitary. I've got my ginger in there. I'm gonna put in my mushrooms. My sauteed mushrooms. Now my coriander comes in. This is gonna give it lots of flavor. So now more stock, the whole box. Some more water. Now just a bit of soy sauce.
See, I understand now why you don't put a lot of salt because the soy sauce has a lot of salt content.
It's reduced salt too. What I do is if you taste it right away, you might feel like it's bland, but when you let it simmer and all the flavors come together, it tastes so good. You don't need to add much salt, just a little bit. So I'm gonna cover it and let it simmer until Chef Zona is ready, and then we can eat. So I usually add some really fast cooking noodle at the very end, like
vermicellis.
Vermicellis today, rice vermicelli, or egg noodles that I do.
And you add it straight in the pot?
Yeah, straight into the pot. It takes 2 minutes to cook usually. So you'll see me grabbing that by the end and tossing it.
Alright, so now,
so
are you my slave for the next 15 minutes?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. So what I want you to do, I'm gonna have you flip your cutting board over.
Okay.
So we're gonna have it clean. So what I have here in front of me is all the ingredients that are gonna go in my tartare. So first one is jalapenos. Then we have French shallots, ginger, fresh coriander. I have here fresh corn tortillas. This is it's a pepper paste, an Asian pepper paste, which gives a lot of flavor to any dish.
Can I smell it?
Yes, you could. It's very spicy. Some limes, some fresh sea salt, black pepper, olive oil, sesame oil, some fresh avocados, an English cucumber, some chives that I always keep chives, thyme, rosemary, any herb, even the coriander was like that, but I just took it out. You always keep herbs in a damp cloth because it keeps it fresh, it keeps it moist, it makes it last longer.
Chef Zona, this sauce, you buy it ready or?
Yeah, it's like the pepper paste, you know, like that we buy.
Yeah.
So it's like an Asian hot pepper paste. How to ripen an avocado? Well, it's like a banana. So either you leave it outside next to the window, sunlight, room temperature, or you have to put it in a brown bag, seal it, put it somewhere that light won't hit it at all, and it'll be good.
So brown bag or out in the light?
Yeah, out in the light, room temperature.
Okay.
And how would you know if your avocados are ready? What you do is, there's a little stem here, right?
Okay.
So when you take the stem out,
okay.
What color is that right now? Inside. Green. If the actual inside of the stem is green, that means your avocado is ready and your avocado is actually green and ripened.
Wow.
And if you take it out and it's not green and it's still darkish,
Like this
and brown. No, this one's still
green,
good.
yeah.
That means it's not ready.
Okay.
Just a little heads up for you guys. You guys
Now
can
we're
use
gonna
that.
pull off the stems out of all the avocados in the grocery store.
Yeah, well, you can actually tell by touching it, but sometimes there's like a middle point that you really don't know if the avocado is ready to go or not. So you just take it, take the stem out, look at it inside, and that's it. I see you took out your vermicellis already. Are you gonna throw them in right now?
I think I should throw them in.
Yeah, throw them in right now. Forget about it. Honestly, you can't even overcook these. They're
I know,
so
they're
thin.
perfect.
Okay, you can take care of that.
Perfect.
So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start cutting my ingredients for my actual vinaigrette for my tartare. So first we have here the corn tortillas, which I'm gonna make crispy tortilla chips with them. Now, I'm not gonna use a lot, just 2, so I can say I have something crispy. Because whenever you're eating a dish, it's all about texture. You always need something, because the tartare is very soft in your mouth, right? So you always need a crunch, you always need a bite. You can't have the same texture in your mouth. So here I'm just gonna cut these into strips. Alright. So while I'm doing this, I'm gonna give you something to do here.
Yeah.
So I want you to take all these leaves, little leaves out. I don't want a lot. I don't need a lot. So how about you fill up this for me?
Okay.
And we'll be good. We'll be ready to
Okay,
go.
fine. This is have you seen your mommy's work? Making tabbouleh one by one, parsley leaves.
So here I've already my my corn tortillas cut. So I'm just gonna leave them on the side.
Smells so good.
And I'm gonna start cutting my jalapenos.
Jalapenos.
If you're very sensitive to heat,
I
you are.
am. Yeah.
Well, you can always take out the seeds from it and deseed it. If not, I'm just gonna cut little rounds of it. I'm gonna keep it fresh. I'm gonna keep it whole. And if you're very sensitive, you can always deseed them. It's very simple. I'm not gonna use a lot. This is just going as a garnish on top of the tartare when we actually plate it. So next, what I'm going to be cutting is my chives. And the chives, you want to really get them thin and cut them really thin because it's going to actually go in the actual vinaigrette.
Just I ate a little piece.
You like chives?
I love the taste. I love it when an ingredient can transform a whole plate. Chives, I mean, you can't go wrong with chives.
No.
I love that. By the way, tell me, how's your take-home chef?
It's actually going good. I mean, I do have a regular job. I work at Le Chien Fumant, as you know.
Yep.
And I'm the sous chef there. So on my days off, which I really don't believe in days off.
But today you took the day off?
I took the day off for you, yes, but I'm still cooking, right? So my take-home chef is very good. It's actually I just go around people's houses and they tell me what they want to eat and what type of food they want to have, and then they give me a guideline, and then I take that.
So like
and
dinner parties?
Dinner parties.
Over?
Yeah, I do maximum 10 people because I'm all by myself. I'm the waiter, the bartender.
Wow, you're the waiter, the bartender,
and the dishwasher at the same time.
The dishwasher.
So basically,
and by the way, I've seen your prices and they're pretty affordable. I mean.
Well, it all depends on what the client wants. Obviously, if they want something more extravagant and restaurant-like, it's more expensive.
Sure.
But I could do any types of parties.
So the host can actually enjoy dinner.
Yeah, it's basically you're at a restaurant at the comfort of your own house.
Oh wow.
You don't get up, you don't touch anything. I come in, I do your dishes, I cook your food.
And you leave?
I pour your drinks, and I leave.
Do you do ever date nights, couples?
I've done one of them, and I must say it was pretty awkward.
Yeah, that's what I was
Because I'm just
ask.
standing there and they're having a conversation. On vacation, I could hear them. But, you know, you just have to block it out and continue cooking, right? So now my English cucumbers.
English cucumbers.
Yes, the English cucumbers are bigger. They're the biggest cucumbers there is. And they're very firm. And I like
Big
using
and
them.
firm cucumbers.
Yes. And what I have here, you see, Julie, Oh, she always gets into dirty talk.
Well, you were the romantic couple. I'm sure they were talking about
English cucumbers? Alright. So what I have here is an Asian mandolin. An Asian mandolin is very useful in one of the...
And very dangerous.
And it is very dangerous if you don't know how to use it properly. But it's very useful in kitchens. And a lot of cooks use it. And it's one of our favorite tools. Because it's like a... How do I say it? It's a truck stop. It's a truck stop way of cutting something, right?
Definitely.
So I'm just going to slice it. And you just slice 2.
Oh, you're going in that direction. I thought you were going to go flat.
So I just want thin, very thin slices, and you can adjust the actual size from here. There's a little twist here. You can twist it as whatever size length you want.
I'm just gonna go check on my soup, make sure all the flavors are right.
No problem.
So let's give this a little stir and a little taste. Okay, now what I'm gonna add to it is I cheat a little bit. I take cubed broth. I'm just gonna add 1 little half of this in there, let it simmer, and it'll add all the flavor that I need.
So I'm done with these cucumbers. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set these aside for now, and then I'm gonna take a lime. I'm just gonna juice half a lime on the actual cucumber just for it to marinate a bit for extra flavor, because I'm gonna add these on the actual tartare whenever I'm plating it. So how's it looking, by the way? Is it good?
It's looking good. I added a little half a cube of chicken broth.
Okay, that's good. So I can smell it. It smells really good. I can see why your kids actually like eating this.
I'm saving my coriander stems for my future broth that I have to make now.
Here, I'm done with these cucumbers, so you can put them away.
Okay.
These chives are good too, to put away. So now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make an avocado puree. It's very simple. It's avocados, lime juice, and a bit of ice cold water for it not to turn black and oxidize. So for an avocado, I'm pretty sure most of you know how to take the seed out, but just in case, I'll show it to you again. So you cut it in half, you put your knife, you let all the knife do the work. So you go like this. So you just cut right in the middle and you let the knife do all the work, right? You just turn the actual avocado like that. And once you have everything cut, you just flip it. And then carefully, you just take your knife. And that's all that matters. And if you want to take it out, just give it a little shot. And that's it. So what I want you to do is I want you to scoop out the actual avocados. You know how to do that? Have you ever done it? You want me to show you how?
I'm just gonna scoop it out.
Yeah, you're just gonna scoop it out. Make sure that the actual skin doesn't go in it and the stems. And then what you're gonna do is for the avocados, because the avocados turn dark very fast. It's like a potato. It oxidizes really fast, so it needs some kind of a citrus, some kind of an acid to keep it green. So you're gonna squeeze all these limes on the actual avocado. And I'm gonna give you a trick. If you don't have an actual lime or lemon juicer, which is, well, we have one here, but seeing for the audience, if ever you guys don't have a juicer at your house, what you could do is you can take an actual lime or lemon and then you just take your spoon, take the lime, you go like this, and you just flip it. You go like that, and that's it.
Perfect.
But seeing that we have a juicer, might as well use a juicer because it's easier, right? So while she's doing that, I'm gonna cut my shallots. I'm gonna dice my shallots, and I'm gonna cut my ginger. So basically, I'm gonna take my shallots. I'm just gonna, like the onion that we did earlier, I'm gonna do the same thing, but a lot finer because it's actually gonna go into tartare, right?
Right.
So you just, for this one, you have to be really careful with your hands. See, I was about to cut myself. Right there. Go like this. I'm actually gonna peel it off. And then I'm gonna slice it with my mandolin that I showed you earlier, right? You remember? The mandolin, the Asian one?
Yes.
So, because I'm gonna break it down really thin and really small cubes. So when you eat it, you don't actually feel the ginger in your mouth, but you actually taste it. So how's the limes coming along? Is it hard? It's hard, right?
It's a bit hard.
It's a bit hard, I know. It's okay. You're used to it, right? Hard work?
Oh yes, definitely.
I mean, I don't understand Julie, for anyone watching that doesn't know Julie, which most of you...
Julie.
Julie? I don't know how to say her name properly. Julie.
My mom calls me
she is one of the
Julia
most...
Dandales.
She's one of the most hardworking girls I ever know, and I honestly, I don't know how she does it. Like, I have a dog and a job, and it's like I'm done. Like, I have no time for myself, like, to do other things. And she has 3 kids, a husband, a job, and an actual show that she just started, actually, Julie Talk Live.
Yeah, Julie Talk Live. There's julietalk.com, the blog.
She has a blog, she has a show, and now she has this kitchen.
This Julie's Kitchen Diaries.
So you see what I'm gonna do with the ginger? I just sliced it thin with the mandolin, and then I'm gonna cut it in julienne. Julienne is little thin long strips, and then I'm just gonna dice it in small cubes, which is called brunoise.
So we got ginger, shallots, chives, jalapeno, cucumbers, coriander.
So now this, a good way to smash up avocados before I actually put it in the blender to puree is I'll take an actual spatula, not a spatula, a whisk, sorry. I'm gonna take a whisk and I'm just gonna crush it just like this so it smooths everything out. An actual guacamole, you would just, a chunky guacamole, you would just need to do this and then add all your ingredients. But seeing that we're gonna puree it, I just need to mash it up. It's like a potato mash, like a fork mash. Whenever you do a fork mash, you can do it with a whisk, and it's so much easier and it takes less stress because you're not actually using anything. So now you see we have some kind of a mash already. So we're just gonna keep this on the sides for now. And we're gonna mix all the ingredients that we just did for the actual tartare vinaigrette. So here you have the chives, which are gonna go in. So we have the chives, we have the French shallots.
I find there's benefits in cooking. You get to eat while you're cooking. You don't let me eat, but I snuck some bites.
We have the ginger, and I'm roughly gonna cut the coriander, rough chop it. I don't want it too thin, I don't want it to turn dark. And whenever you're chopping mint, basil, coriander, you need a sharp, very sharp knife, because what it does is, if you don't have a sharp knife, it bruises the actual herb. Coriander going into that. So while she's doing the limes, I'm gonna add the spicy paste I told you guys about. I'm not gonna put too much because you never know if the person who's eating it likes it spicy. Do you like it spicy? You said.
Or if the person who's eating it has hemorrhoids and they'll flare up if they eat too much.
See, we already talked about hemorrhoids.
Or ulcers.
So I'm just gonna put a little knob of that. And for the sesame oil is very pungent. It's very, very pungent. Right. So you have to really be careful with it. What I do is I just put it on a spoon, and then, because you can gauge easier how much you want to put in it.
Can I smell it?
You literally need like probably 2 or 3 little drops, not too much.
Oh, that's it?
That's it.
Yeah, I always over sesame oil my things.
Yeah. So there you go. So for now, I'm just gonna add the olive oil.
This is a pipette.
She just learned what this is, a squeeze bottle.
Because he came here and he was asking.
I have to take this off.
I had a big oil container.
I don't have any oil.
You don't have a pipette? Now I know what a pipette
I'm
is.
just gonna add a bit of oil to that. So here we have all our mix with the chives, the coriander, the pepper, the ginger, the shallots. I added a bit of coarse black pepper into it. Now I'm just gonna add 2 tablespoons to 3 tablespoons of lime juice. And lime juice and coriander are like bread and butter for me. It's like one marriage that goes together very good, and like, the flavors of it are very...
I can smell each flavor. I can smell the sesame oil. I can smell the lime. I can smell the jalapeno, the coriander.
So
It's
here,
gonna be a party in our mouths.
so there you go, that's the vinaigrette's done. So now we're gonna get into the avocado puree. And now I'm gonna do the avocado puree. I'm gonna need more lime juice and I'm gonna need ice cold water. I added lime juice, ice cold water, salt, and coarse black pepper. As you can see, look at the texture. You see the texture? That's what you're looking for. Like an avocado mayo. If you would want to add coriander to this or tomatoes, just like this, you make your puree and you add things to them. You could actually do it. There's no problem. You can make your guacamole like this, but I'm gonna use it today as a puree, just like itself. And I'm not gonna add any tomatoes or any onions, but you could actually puree like that. Add your onions, your tomatoes, your peppers, your coriander, and you can make a guac out of it. So now that we have all this ready, a couple of last steps. I'm gonna fry our. The first thing we cut was
Tortilla. Corn tortilla.
Corn tortillas, very important. The only difference is it's actually healthier, corn tortillas, than flour tortillas. There's no flour in it. It's gluten free. If ever people with gluten intolerance can't eat it. Tacos, corn tortillas. Now I'm gonna fry the corn tortillas in a bit of vegetable oil to get them crispy. You have to have your pan on a high heat. And you'll see them when they change color and they become a bit golden. That means they're ready. And always have a little plate with a paper towel, so when you're done, you can actually put them in it. And you see, as soon as they're getting done, they start to firm up. When they start to firm up, that means you're ready to go.
I saw you flipping that pan.
You got scared, did you?
Yeah, I got scared actually.
So as soon as you take off the corn tortillas, you make sure to always add the salt as soon as you take it off. And just open this, just to season it right away, so it soaks it in. So basically now we're ready to go. I have all my ingredients ready. The salmon's in the fridge, cold. All my ingredients are always in front of me. Try to always keep your ingredients in front of you, because if you're missing anything, at least you can see it. Are you ready with yours?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You've been ready for a while now, have you? Okay, so I think it's time for us to plate. So actually, I want to watch you plate your dish, and then you can watch me plate mine.
I don't usually it's a Barbie bowl.
Well, just do what you have to do.
All right, I'm gonna try and impress you.
Perfect. So basically what I'm gonna do now, as I took saran wrap, as you can see, I flattened it out, double layered it. And for most people that like, I personally don't have this at my house, but I use this. It's a very good technique.
Is it for piping?
Yeah, it's a piping bag.
Okay.
It's a pastry piping bag I'm gonna use. So all you can do is this. You go like that. You just flip it around. You have to be gentle with it. You pierce a little hole right there. So now you can go in.
I'm gonna make this for Jack. It's gonna be think I'm all fancy.
So you just drizzle a bit of olive oil on top of it, just like that. And finish it off with a bit of flour de sel. Voila! Salmon tartare.
So now finally we get to eat. So
Perfect.
dig in.
It smells good. First I want to taste the broth. It's actually very good. And for something that you whip up in 20 minutes,
Not even.
not even 20 minutes, it's actually pretty good. You know what makes all the difference? The ginger and the soy sauce.
Yeah. This is just amazing.
Because
So
the
good.
ginger gives it a nice little tang to it. With the soy sauce, the sweetness and the saltiness of it. It all combines together, and the coriander gives a nice touch to it. Just for next time, make sure to put the coriander at the end, because you see it just turn dark.
It did.
But the result of it, honestly, is very good.
I'm glad you like it. Your tartare is amazing.
Is it?
Just nothing short of amazing.
Hope you guys enjoy it. You have to have everything in one bite.
Okay, fine.
That's how you'll know how good it is.
I'm making everybody jealous. I know it.
So I hope everyone at home learned how to make this tartare.
Now we have no excuse.
I know, guys, it doesn't, you don't have to plate it the way I did. We cooks do this every day. But just try things out and try cooking at home. Use local products, buy fresh products. Go to the markets, Atwater Market, John Tolo Market, buy seasonal ingredients. Help out your farmers, because honestly, with all these big corporations coming in and just destroying all the organic farmers and all the people that actually have worked all these years for their companies to go to waste because of all these big companies that are coming in and just mass producing vegetables and the meat and chickens, and try to eat organic. I know it's a bit more expensive, but honestly, it's well worth it.
Keep it organic. Keep it local. Chef Zona, thank you so much for being here.
No problem, it was a pleasure.
Tenny Sarkisian, makeup artist, thank you so much for your help. Bestia and Coco, I can't thank you enough. Thanks everybody for watching. Until next time.
Good night.
Okay, wait.
And I'm cooking it. Cheese. You might cook it. Cheese.
Finally, no.
Wait.